In this video, I'm going to be taking you through, how shall I put this? I'm going to be showing one copy of every Elvis album released during his lifetime, but it's going to be on a Japanese CD. So we're going to go from Elvis Presley in 1956 to Moody Blue in 1977, Japanese CD releases. Not all of these are going to be first pressings because I've shown some of the first pressings already in some videos, and in other cases I don't have them. I have CD copies of all of those albums released during Elvis's lifetime, except one, which we'll talk about when I get there. But I don't consider it an essential album because it's a compilation that was released close to Elvis's death, and it's also very expensive, so I don't have it. So let's go right back to the first Elvis CD released in Japan in 1984. It was not this one. It was Golden Records, but it was a stereo copy, which was very quickly replaced with a mono copy. This one, however, is another stereo copy that came out in 1995. And it was part of a series called Prime 1, 1800. So the 1800 refers to the price. There were about half a dozen Elvis CDs in the series, mostly live albums. That is the back cover there. This one is still sealed, so I can't show you where it says it's stereo, but I'll be able to prove it to you in a moment. Because the second Elvis album released on CD, that was also released during his lifetime on LP, that's very complicated, isn't it, was Elvis Presley. Now, this wasn't the actual second CD, Elvis CD, released in Japan, because there were a few compilations released as well, a couple of compilations. In this video, I'm not going to be dealing with any post-death albums. So Elvis Presley, yeah, this is also a 1995 copy in that same series, Prime 1, 1800. And I'll just show you where it states that this one is also in stereo. On the back there, you can see that black strip, and just above where my finger is there, you might be able to see it says stereo. If not, I'll put a scan up on screen. So the Elvis Presley album had initially been released in 1985 as a series, one in a series of 10 CDs, and that was in mono. It was issued again in 1990, also in mono. And then for some reason in 1995, this one was in stereo. So I know most of you are like me and you prefer to listen to 50s Elvis in mono, but if you are interested in hearing them, or if you actually prefer electronically reprocessed stereo, then these are a couple of CDs you can look out for. They're not that expensive because they sold quite well. The next lifetime release that came out on CD was the Elvis album. It first came out on CD in 1985. This one is a reissue from 2009, and it's an SHM CD. And there were quite a few of them released in this series. And in fact, SHM refers to the materials used to make the disc itself. And supposedly they have superior sound, blah, blah, blah. They don't sound noticeably better to me than earlier releases of the CDs, but that's just me, maybe. There's the back cover, and this particular pressing came with bonus tracks. Now the thing about this album, the Elvis album on SHM CD, is you've got to be careful if you buy it, because the disc inside is actually the wrong one. It is the Elvis Presley SHM CD, the first album. Not just my copy, I'm talking about nearly all copies. They spotted the error and then they reissued it with the correct disc. And the only way you can tell is by looking at the barcode. The barcode here is white, understandably enough. With the correct issues, they printed the barcode in yellow. Okay, so if you find a copy of this CD with a yellow barcode, it will have the Elvis CD inside it. This one with a white barcode has the Elvis Presley CD inside it. Just so you know. The fourth Lifetime release to come out on CD was Gold Records Volume 2. The original also came out in 1985. This is a reissue from 1990, and it's also part of a series of 14 CDs that all came with this obi design here, with the cream color and the flash design at the top. About half the CDs were reissues and half of them were new to CD. 10 songs on there, just like the original album. The next one to come out, again, this was originally released in 1985, was That's the Way It Is. This is a reissue from 2015. And again, it's a series. This one is called, what is it called? It's called Let's Rock, Rock and Roll 60th Anniversary. And there are about half a dozen Elvis CDs in this series. There's the back with no bonus songs. And these are really cheap CDs, or they were when they came out. 1,000 yen plus tax, so 1,100 yen, which at the time would have been about $11, but now it's even less. It's less than $8 now, as I speak, in 2022. The next one also originally came out in 1985, and that was On Stage. The sticker on the front here gives you a hint as to when this one came out. It's 1999. There's the back cover, and this one comes with bonus songs. It's quite an unusual obi design, that one. And again, from 1985 originally. In fact, the next 3 CDs are all from that first series in 1985, because I don't have any other copies of these CDs. Elvis in Person, Madison Square Garden, and Blue Hawaii. In 1986, several new Elvis CDs came out. The first of which was Aloha from Hawaii. I don't have the original, so I'll just quickly show you this mini LP CD version from 2000. And this is a very good reproduction of the American gatefold sleeve, right down to the die cut cover. Around about the same time as Aloha from Hawaii came recorded live on stage in Memphis. This is, again, not an original one from 86, but a reissue from 1995. This is also part of a series, Smile Price 1800. Again, that refers to the price. And this series had about 5 or so Elvis CDs in it, and I think it was just a series that they came up with just to get rid of some old stock, because the CDs have new catalog numbers, but the matrix numbers are the same as previous releases. So I think they're just basically repackaging old stock. And there's the back cover. This one happens to be a promo. There's a promo sticker there. Also in 1986, quite surprising that this one came out so early, surprising to me anyway, is He Touched Me. And this is, again, a reissue. This one is the most recent pressing from 2017. And once again, it's part of a series. You can see the title of the series up there. It's Carols and Gospel Collection. So there were just 5 CDs in this collection, the 3 gospel albums and the 2 Christmas albums. There's the back cover. This one is also a promo, and this is, I think, the most recent promo sticker design. A couple of bonus songs on here. They are Only Believe. In fact, there were 4. Only Believe, Put Your Hand in the Hand, I Got a Feeling in My Body, and Help Me. Still in 1986, we've got a copy of Jazz Blues. Now, this is an original from 86. The obi gives you a good idea of what the designs were at that time. You have this solid color, Elvis's name, and the title of the CD on the front. There's the back. And this CD, the first one, actually uses the same tracks that were used on the Japanese LP version. So track number 1 is Tonight's All Right for Love, not Tonight Is So Right for Love. The reissue in 1991 actually started with Tonight's So Right for Love, and then Tonight's All Right for Love was at the end. So the 1991 version has 12 songs. And then there are subsequent versions with more bonus songs, but this is the first one from 86. Another one from that same year, 86, was the Christmas album. Again, you can see what I was just explaining, a solid collar with the title of the album and Elvis's name on the front. There's the back. And they were still using the RCA logo on the spines at this point. There were no new Elvis CDs. Well, there were lots of new Elvis CDs in 1987, but none of them were albums that came out during his lifetime. They were all compilations. So the next lifetime release to come out on CD was Loving You in 1988. Looking like that, and this is also part of a series, RCA Popular CD 2500, which was the price of new CDs at the time, 2,500 yen. There's the back. I do like it when they put photos on the back. There's not much space to play with on a CD inlay card, but it's much better when they put the photos on there rather than just all text. And you can see down here it points out this mono, and the price is also visible down there, 2,500 yen. And there are two different versions of the CDs, two different price points of the CDs in this series, and I'll say more about that in a moment. So that was the first one. Also coming out in 1988 was Elvis Is Back. I don't have that 88 pressing, but I do have this one from 1991. Elvis in the 90s. So a lot of Elvis CDs came out on this series. Some of them for the first time, some of them, like this one, reissues. They all had this very ordinary looking back design with a map around the Memphis area. Another one of those CDs to come out in 1988 originally was How Great Thou Art. This is a 2017 version from that same series, Carols and Gospel. And there are bonus songs on this one too, which are You'll Never Walk Alone, We Call on Him, and Who Am I? This one is also from 1988. You can see that series logo up there, RCA, what is it? Popular CD 2500. And there's the back cover. A lot more songs on here than were on the original LP. So perhaps this was the first one to be released with bonus songs. Also from 1988 we have Moody Blue in that same series. And there's the back. After Moody Blue we had King Creole in that same series. I don't have a copy of that one, but I can show you this mini LP CD version from 2001. We'll just do a few more and then I'm going to wrap up this video and do more in the second half. Again, in 1988 we had His Hand in Mine on that same series, Popular CD 2500. And there is the back design, and you can see I've actually got two here. And the reason for that is, one, this one here I believe has the first price of 2,500, and this one here has the lower price of 2,348 yen. Okay, so this is actually the cheaper version is the later versions because CD prices went down. So if you have one for 2,500 yen, it's the first pressing. If you have one with 2,348, it's the second pressing. And that goes for all these CDs in the Popular 2500 series. Potluck, still in the same series. That's 2,500 yen one. Elvis Country, same series. 2,500 yen. And the last one in that series from 1988 was Elvis Sings The Wonderful World of Christmas. I don't have that one, but I do have this one here from 2017 in that Carols and Gospel collection series. There's the back cover. This one also has 2 bonus songs, the short version of Merry Christmas Baby, the single version, and an alternate take of Silver Bells. And in 1990, again in 1989, there were only compilation CDs released, no lifetime releases. And in 1990, there was another series of CDs, which included Promised Land. This one is not a 1990 version. It's actually a upgrade from 2000 this was released. There's the back cover, and it has most of the songs from the Good Times album on there as well. So that's the end of part 1. See you again for part 2.